Today, I'm going to share one of the healing therapies you'll find in the Herbal database. This is olfactory training, and we're going to cover how it can help you restore your sense of smell if you've lost it, and also why this kind of training is so important for herbalists. So, actively trying to smell a scent can heal the brain. If a person with post COVID smell loss, for example, intentionally mix a series of essential oils, usually rose, eucalyptus, lemon, and clove, twice a day, consciously trying to remember what they taste or smell like. The sense of smell can be restored, and two amazing things happen. First of all, rebooting those receptors. The repetitive exposure encourages the damaged olfactory neurons in your nose to regenerate and reconnect. Secondly, top-down neuroplasticity. Even if you smell nothing, your brain uses top-down processing, relying on your memory of what a rose smells like, for example, to actively reroute and wire neural networks. In fact, clinical imaging has shown that when patients successfully recover their sense of smell through this kind of training, their gray matter volume increases and functional brain connectivity is restored. So olfactory training works like physical therapy for your brain and your nose. The goal is to stimulate your olfactory nerve and force your brain to use its visual and emotional memory to rebuild those broken neural pathways. Now, before we go on to the method, let's talk about why this is important for herbalists. Herbalists who work extensively with plants, dried herbs, tinctures, teas, essential oils, and formulation stand to gain significantly from it, since their craft relies heavily on sensory evaluation beyond just visual or tactile cues. And here are the key benefits for herbalists. First of all, improved plant identification, quality assessment, and freshness detection. Many herbs and plants have similar appearances, but distinct aromatic profiles. A keener nose helps differentiate species or chemotypes, variation in lavender or mint, for example, and detect potency, freshness, or degradation, and spot adulteration or contamination in bulk herbs or oil. This is similar to how perfumers or sommeliers use smell for expertise. Next, you'll develop enhanced formulation and blending skills. Herbalists often create custom blends for teas, salves, or aromatherapy. Olfactory training improves odor discrimination, identification, and memory, allowing better balancing of complex scent profiles, the top, middle, and base notes, while considering synergistic therapeutic effects. And this leads to more nuanced, effective, and appealing preparation. And then there's a deeper connection to plant energetics and aromatherapy. Smell is central to understanding a plant's personality, volatile compounds, and potential medicinal action. Training heightens sensory awareness and mindfulness, fostering intuitive insights during wildcrafting, harvesting, or remedy making. Many herbal traditions integrate aromatic plants, and training aligns directly with this. Next, we find cognitive and neurological advantages. So studies do show that olfactory training can increase gray matter volume in areas like the hippocampus, which is linked to memory, and improve aspects of cognition such as verbal fluency, memory, and attention, even in those without smell loss. For herbalists who memorize hundreds of plant actions and constituents, this could sharpen knowledge retention as well as diagnostic intuition. And finally, herbalists gain professional edge in safety. A refined sense of smell aids in safety. For example, detecting rancid oil or off aromas indicating spoilage, and client consultation, especially in aromatherapy or sensory-based assessments. It mirrors training used by perfumers and other scent professionals. Now let's move on to the method. For the best result, stick to a consistent twice daily routine for at least 12 to 24 weeks. Now this is a clinically backed protocol. First of all, gather your supplies and use 4 specific scent categories. Floral, for example, rose essential oil. Then fruity, like lemon essential oil. Spicy, such as clove essential oil. And resinous or minty, like eucalyptus. Put a few drops of each oil onto separate cotton pads and place them inside 4 small, clean, amber glass jars. Label each jar clearly. This keeps the oils from degrading and makes them easy to use. Here's the daily protocol. Twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. Pick a quiet room free of other strong odors, like cooking smells or perfume. Take a comfortable seat. Sit down, relax. Open your first jar, for example, rose. Bring the jar up to about an inch or 2 underneath your nose, and then inhale for 20 seconds. Now, instead of taking one massive deep breath, take short, gentle, rapid sniffs, like a rabbit. This swirls the air up into the top of your nasal cavity, where the olfactory receptors live, rather than bypassing them straight into your lungs. Actively visualize the scent simultaneously. And this is the most critical step, especially if you smell absolutely nothing. While sniffing, picture a rose in your mind. Recall its odor, what it feels like, or a memory associated with it. You're using top-down brain processing to help the neural networks reconnect. Then, rest and reset for 60 seconds. Close the jar, breathe normally for a full minute. This allows your olfactory receptors to clear out and prevents your brain from getting fatigued or desensitized. Then repeat with the next scent, the next jar. You're going to repeat this exact same process. 20 seconds of gently bunny sniffing combined with intense visualization, followed by a 60-second rest. You're going to cycle through all 4 jars. Now here's some crucial steps for success. First of all, be patient with something called phantasmia. That's an olfactory hallucination. As your nerves heal, they might misfire. You might suddenly smell things that aren't there. or everything might smell like chemicals, smoke, or rotting garbage. While unpleasant, it's actually a great sign that your wiring is trying to repair itself. Next, stick to the schedule. Neuroplasticity requires repetition. Missing days makes the training significantly less effective. Treat it like a prescription. Then, switch it up after 3 months. If you hit 12 weeks and want to keep progressing, you can swap out your oils for 4 new distinct scents. For example, mint, coffee, vanilla, thyme, to challenge your brain with new stimuli. And I know it can be incredibly frustrating to sniff a jar day after day and get nothing back. But remember that the mental effort of trying to smell and visualize is doing heavy lifting in your brain's gray matter, even before your nose catches up. Now, if you're an herbalist and you're interested in improving your sense of smell, there's some other techniques that you can use. For example, this one, sensory ritual, smell for terpenes. I'll pull that up. And here we're working with citrus, mint, and pine. We're not necessarily working with essential oils here. However, if you pull up techniques for olfactory evaluation of natural essences, there are some other techniques that you can use, including links to some excellent articles like How to Smell and Evaluate a Natural Perfume, The Study of Natural Essences, Exploring the World of Natural Aromatics, and Odor Description. Basic smelling techniques are essential, and several viewpoints are culled in this section from writings of industry pioneers. This is a summary, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll find the layout for a fragrance diary that you could keep. And this could also apply for those of you who are using a pattern atlas. So thanks for watching, everyone. And if this was useful for you, please click the like button and share it. Also, if you put any of these techniques into practice and have results that you could share with us, please do that in the comments section. And I'll see you in the next video.